Good morning and welcome to Find Your Freedom TV. We are live, so if you have any questions throughout this session, you can jump in and let me know. But Find Your Freedom TV is essentially 30 minutes of inspiration, practical ideas, and proven strategies that will help you become financially, mentally, and emotionally free. So my name's Jodie Nevid. I am the co-founder and co-author of The 7 Effects. This is our book at the back there. And basically, in 2014, my best friend and I decided we wanted to quit our jobs in the corporate rat race and become financially free. So here we are now. We're living the life of our dreams. The blueprint for our business was to create a business where we could work 3 days a week, earn 6 figures a year, take all of the school holidays off and travel overseas every year. And that's exactly what we managed to do. Along the way, we developed a program called the Lifestyle Business Builder program. And essentially what we do at the 7 Effects now is we help other people follow in our footsteps and find their freedom. But because we focus on lifestyle business, it's not about building a conventional business. What it is it's about building a lifestyle where you get to do what you love, you focus on your health whilst you're building wealth, and essentially living your best life possible. So now we're in the space where we get to play, we get to share ideas, and I've got an amazing community of people that I can bring to you, and you can pick their brains, ask them questions, and get on your own path to finding your freedom, whatever that might be. Now, finding your freedom doesn't have to mean quitting your job and starting a business, because let's be honest, that's not actually for everybody. In fact, for some people, they love having a job or a passion where they get to go to work maybe full-time or part-time, and then they just need space to find their freedom in their life, maybe build some wealth on the side, retire early, or maybe it's just about finding your freedom from feelings of exhaustion, from feelings of not feeling energized, or finding your freedom from the emotional stuff and the mental stuff that can weigh us down in life. So here we are, we've got 30 minutes together to help you find your freedom. And I want to kick off today's show. So this is episode 2, and our theme is There's Something About Mary. So in a moment, I've got a guest for you that I'm going to introduce, and we're going to interview her, and I'll tell you a little bit more about Mary in a moment. But I want to kick off today's show with a question for you. And the question is this: have you ever been sucked into a get-rich-quick scheme? And what I mean by a get-rich-quick scheme is the kind of thing where it promises you a really fast, easy, no-brainer ride to making your fortune. And I know for sure I have certainly over the years been suckered into many get-rich-quick schemes, because my passion has always been to be financially free. But along the way, I've come to learn that there are a lot of get-rich-quick schemes out there promising this copy-paste, easy-click kind of route to becoming financially free. And the reality is, and I can tell you this from years and years of experience and hundreds of thousands of dollars wasted in get-rich-quick schemes, that the reality is the only way to financial freedom is to actually do the work over a long period of time. And when I say a long period of time, I'm talking about 5 to 7 years. And really, that's not actually a long period of time. But because we live in this instant, fast-paced world, I think everyone is trying to get there instantly. And very few people say, all right, I'm going to commit to this for 5 solid years. And essentially, that's the essence of this show. So the guest speaker that I'm going to be bringing on in a moment is called Mary Palaric. And she's a classic example of someone who has actually found one thing that she absolutely loves, and she's stuck to it over a period of years until she's finally learned how to turn that thing into her path to financial freedom. for me personally, before we launched the 7 Effect, and it did become one of those phenomenal overnight success type businesses, we actually made over $167,000 in our very first year. And then in our second year, we went on to almost double that. But behind the scenes, what people don't understand is 5 years prior to that, I was showing up every month in a goals club, doing the work on myself to prepare me to become a lifestyle entrepreneur. So that's a big message for you all to take away from today's show, is finding your freedom is not about a get-rich-quick scheme. It is about proven strategies and simple steps that you can take every single week to get you on path to being free, whatever that looks like for you. So the way it works is we'll have our guest on in just a moment. We're going to do a book review, and then I'm going to leave you with 7 steps that you can implement this week, 7 steps you can take to actually find your freedom. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our guest today, and I am really thrilled to have this lady, Mary Palaric, here. So I met Mary at the start of 2017. And we met on a Zoom call, and she was interested in joining our Lifestyle Business Builder program. At the time, Mary was a high-paid corporate executive. She was flying all around Australia. She was earning about $200,000 a year, but she was on the brink of burnout, and her passion was property development. So Mary decided to join our program because she wanted to find a way where she could turn her passion for property development into her full-time gig. Mary was the main breadwinner in her family, so there was a lot of pressure on her to keep the money flowing in. And sure enough, within about 6 months of being in the program, Mary plucked up the courage to quit her day job, and then she actually decided she would launch not just one, but 2, or maybe there's even 3 businesses. And now she's set herself up to actually double her annual income from 200 to 400,000, at the same time as halving her work hours and really doing what she absolutely loves. So without further ado, let's bring in our guest speaker, or our guest guru for Find Your Freedom TV this week, Mary Palaric.
Hi, Jodie. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Hello, Mary. How are you today?
Good morning, Jodie. Good morning, everyone.
It's great to see you here. Now, Mary, I wanted to ask you, and I've got some questions, as you know, to ask you here, yes. But let's kick off with you sharing with us, what does freedom mean to you?
I think that's a really good question. 2 words spring to mind. One is choice, and the other one is opportunity. So with choice, I see freedom as being having choices in terms of what you do with your time, where you live, who you hang out with, and basically what you're spending your time doing without the constraint, I suppose, that I've experienced. And then opportunity is about having the freedom to seize those opportunities when they arise, and not being shackled to whatever it is that's holding you back. So yes, a choice and opportunity.
Have you felt shackled at times, Mary?
Yes, definitely. I think. I have. I mean, I think shackled to I suppose a view of what success was really in some ways. Yeah. I mean, I was a senior, executive. I just had this view that, success was about, having a really good job, having good education, like a degree, and then moving up the corporate ladder. So I was shackled to an idea, basically, and my ambition, which was directed at being an employee, climbing up that ladder, that corporate ladder. Yeah. That was sort of, my chains.
And that's what they call it, isn't it? The golden handcuffs. We definitely get, and I certainly was in that space where you get this incredibly good executive salary, the 6-figure salary and the 4 weeks paid holiday. Yes. And I noticed, because my background is lifestyle entrepreneurship, so I had my small business. I then jumped into the corporate world and was, on 120 grand a year. That's a lot of money, and you were on even more than that. to fear losing. It's like, oh, how could I make that much money on my own? But it's nice to be free. So how long have you felt free, Mary?
It's been a long time coming. I thought I had the freedom because of what the executive job could give me, you know, the status, the money to do things, to travel. But I think it was when I realised that I was actually trading my time for money, and I actually wasn't very free. And it's really only the last 6 months when I, you know, made the decision, as you said in your introduction, to give up the day job and focus on my passion. So really the last 6 months, and it's really interesting. People comment that I look so much better. I feel less stressed. So it's a different stress, but it's much better. So it's been a long time coming.
And it is true. It's one of those situations, and I know from being your business coach that the moment you showed up to our program and said, I've made the decision, I've quit my job, there was a glow about you. And the more you immersed yourself into your property development businesses, your energy shifted, your the skin tone shifted, everything about you you just got on this intrinsic drive to do great stuff, which is cool.
Definitely. The energy levels were different. I think I saw some more sunlight too, actually, because being stuck in an office environment, you know, and really seeing the sun, you know, made a difference. Getting some fresh air, and sleeping better, you know, I think that all made a difference.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the business, but it's about the lifestyle choices that go with it. So I would love to know, Mary, you know, we call you the poster girl for It's Never Too Late, because you started this journey in your 50s. But, you know, obviously you were developing property and into the property as a bit of a hobby or a passion on the side prior to launching your business. What stopped you from breaking free sooner? Was there any fears or any pressure or any internal dialogue you had running that stopped you from pulling the plug or taking the plunge and becoming free?
I think it was definitely the security of the job. I mean, you mentioned I was the main breadwinner, and I was at the time. So that was so being able to continue to support the family was a consideration. I think also there was maybe confidence. Could I do this? And then I came to the conclusion that it was possible. So and it was only possible because I developed a plan. So and that gave me the confidence to know that I actually could do it.
And you've been a employee most of your working life. Is that fair to say?
So,
always an employee. And I think for a lot of people you get in this employee mindset where this is just what we do and this is how we make a living. So the idea of starting a business can be incredibly confronting because there's no guarantees like there is with a salary coming in every week.
That's right. Yeah. You're the key player. I mean, and there's consequences, you know, so you've got to tread carefully. So that led me to, you know, thinking through my plan and then how could I actually make it happen. So, and I needed a lot of scaffolding to help me initially make that decision and then to move forward, that impetus.
Right. So tell us a little bit about your business. You've obviously got Abundico and then you've got the property development business. Can you give us just a brief overview of what you do in your business, Mary?
Okay. So I've launched Abundico. It's an adjunct to my property development business. So Abundico is really my education business. It's just really in its infancy. I'm running a bunch of seminars this year in Adelaide because I'm wanting people to become educated in property and learn from someone like me, you know, to experience and to learn from me in terms of the good, the bad and the ugly. And it's not a sales pitch. I'm not selling property. And then the property business is actually where I bring in investors, joint venture partners, and we purchase properties and see the property through a development, and then we share the profit with our joint venture partners, and they learn along the process as well because often they don't have time. They're often professionals. They don't have the experience and know-how, and maybe a little bit risk averse, and want to join forces with someone who's got the experience.
And the projects that you've been doing so far have been incredibly successful. I mean, every time we catch up, you've got a new project on the go, and it's so exciting to see.
Yes, which exchanged last week on one of them, which is good. It took several months of negotiation, quite tricky, but yeah, we picked up the keys. We picked up the keys last night. So
congratulations.
Yeah.
What I love about what you're doing with Abundico, so Mary's business Abundico, is really education and coaching for property investors. And when we were coaching Mary through her business building program and going, right, how do we take everything you know, your skills, your knowledge and experience, and turn it into a viable business? What Mary came up with was this big gap in the market where people go and spend, tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes even $30,000, $50,000 on these big courses to become a property developer or a property investor. And then they go along to all these community events, which Mary is going to, the networking things, the conferences. And I've been in that space as well. And I would say probably about 80% of them don't actually translate that into action because they're held back by fear. Would you agree, Mary?
I agree. I see them all the time. I meet them all the time. I don't know, they just, something is holding them back. And it's lots of different things and many things sometimes, yes. But definitely fear. Fear is a big thing. Mm.
And so Mary's idea was to be, all right, I've got lots of experience and lots of runs on the board in this game. What I'd love to do is work side by side with people and help them overcome that fear. So in the Abundico space, Mary does amazing work to really help people get access to someone, a real live person side by side that can coach them through the journey, as well as your seminars. And these aren't like big hundreds of people in the room, but it's like 10 people in a room at a time really unpacking the nuts and bolts, which is fantastic. So one of the things that we always like to do on Find Your Freedom TV is offer something for free. It's like, let's give you a kickstart to get on the road. So if you would love to have a chat with Mary and get a free 30-minute property coaching session, then just let us know why you would love that. All you need to do is give us some insight around why you would love a 30-minute property coaching session with Mary. And trust me, this lady knows her stuff. Now, I've got some more questions for you, Mary.
Yep.
Speaking about property development, it's fair to say that not every business strategy is suitable for everybody. What are the types of traits that a person needs to succeed as a property investor or a property developer? And they may not have these traits by nature, but they could be developed, and there might be some traits that you can come up with that are natural skills that people would have. So what does someone need to succeed?
Property or real estate is actually a people game. It's a people business. There's lots of people, when you're doing a development or investing, that you need that expertise. So that skill of collaboration, talking to people, extracting what you need, conveying your ideas is really important. So communication, that interpersonal skills, and bringing a team together is really, really critical. The other one is tenacity. There's lots of ups and downs, so being able to stick through a project and not give up. You've got to know your numbers, so there's a bit of number crunching, but it's just normal arithmetic. You need to be a problem solver, and you need to take risks. And when I talk about risks, it's not about being risky, not the quick rich scheme stuff that you were saying, Jodie, but more around calculated risks, So I think there's some.
Have you ever been suckered into a quick rich scheme, Mary?
No, definitely not. I don't part with my money very, very easily. I don't even do lotto. I don't even do lotto or lottery tickets. I just think that's a waste of money.
Yeah,
I just no. I'll donate, but I won't buy lottery tickets.
It's just stupid. Yeah, I agree. I don't buy lottery tickets or anything, but I have over the years been suckered into lots of really good marketing that's promoting a business opportunity or something that's going to get you there faster. And the reality is you go, oh gosh, it's always work. There is no fast ticket to success. I saw, lovely John in our community, he shared a post the other day about Warren Buffett and someone saying, hey, Warren, why don't more people just follow your advice and become rich? And Warren Buffett's response is, because most people don't want to get rich slowly. And it's so true. So if we were willing to take the time, we would get there. But most people want it tomorrow, and so they don't get there ever. Yeah.
Yep. And certainly with property, that it's a long game. It's not a quick rich game at all.
Yeah. And you are living proof that with the right focus and with the right commitment, you can absolutely get there. And you're very strategic about how you do that now, which is fantastic.
Definitely. Yeah.
So over the years, Mary, how many years have you been investing in property or doing property, would you say?
Probably about 30 years. 30 years.
30 years. Wow. So this is a long time. See, this is a long game.
It is a long game. Yeah. Start young. Yeah.
Yeah. Over those 30 years, what's been the most valuable lesson you've learned and why?
I think it's been more recent lessons that I've learnt, and that is the power of leverage. And the power of being able to pool your resources together. So one of the areas that I specialise in is joint ventures.
Yeah.
So where I'm bringing people together, including myself, and we're pooling our resources in terms of money, skills, access to expertise, and being able to achieve a lot more than a single individual could. So so leverage in terms of a small amount of money can control a large asset, and you actually don't even have to sometimes even use your own money. And that was a huge revelation to me. That was a huge turning point for me. I was thinking I had to save every deposit. I had to go to the bank, please, beg, please give me money. I want to invest. But that's not the case at all. So, I mean, that's a little bit more advanced. But again, that's something that I've learned. I was doing the typical buy your principal place of residence and keep churning that through. But, now I've learned there's so many other ways of building wealth through property. So leveraging people and their skills. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And I loved, I've seen your keynote now a couple of times. And when you see project by project all unpacked, it's fascinating to see each of those lessons you've learnt along the way and just how much you've done in terms of refining your approach and leveraging. And this is something you teach others how to do now. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
definitely show them how to do a joint venture, how to select a property, how to analyze whether a property is a winner or a lemon, and when to walk away.
Yeah. And so Mary and I would love to know if you have an investment property, if you are watching there, is investing in property something you've ever been interested in? Does anyone actually have investment properties? I think Mary, you might know the statistics, but the statistics on how many people that actually own an investment property or own more than two is very, very small. So I think that I don't know what percentage own one.
Less than 5%, I think, is own an investment property. Yeah.
Wow. And less than people that own more than two or three, it's like less than 1 or 2% of people in Australia. So Mary and I are both huge advocates for investing in property. I like to make my money in business and then I park it in property. So I haven't done developments, but I do buy and hold and rent them out on Airbnb as well as long-term rent. But what I love about Mary's strategy is she does a combo of both. She knows how to play across both fields. And she's got strategies where you can get in the game and invest some money or invest other people's money and within a couple of years make some profit through those developments. Is that sort of summed up right, Mary?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. There's lots of different approaches. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about property. You can play in lots of different spaces. So my final question for you, Mary, is if someone wanted to follow in your footsteps and achieve what you've achieved, what is the very first step they should take? What should they do first?
I would say have a vision, understand why you want to do it. And I'll tell a little bit of a story. The thing that was the catalyst for change for me was when I did a vision board about a year ago. I hadn't done one before, and I spent a day or half a day immersing myself and just really thinking about what I wanted to achieve. I was very stressed in my job, and I knew something had to change. So I did a vision board. I really thought about, what's important to me, and I put that up on a board, and it was a visual cue every single day, and it gave me clarity. It really gave me clarity about what I wanted to, why I wanted to make a change, why that was important. And that really drove me to make my decision to quit the job. And I had property there as a vehicle. I had my family. I had visions of my dream of travel, and I realized that I wasn't living that life. I mean, I was so far away, and the gap was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, and I call my vision board my power tool. It just energizes me. And I really felt a huge energy shift. It was incredible. It's got a cathartic experience. And I've got to post it up on my wall over there, and I put it on my screensaver on my phone. So every time I touch my phone, up will come these dreams. And I'm thinking, no, these dreams have got to become true. I'm going to make them happen. And that was actually the clincher for me. And the rest then that basically created the dream, and I wanted to make that a reality. It became that urge, that desire, that it almost became like my energy source. It was crazy. And it helped me make that decision. So find your why, dream the dream, create that ideal life, because that's ultimately your goal. And that was a really important first step.
And I love that. It ties into the old Think and Grow Rich comment. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So your vision board helped you conceive and believe in the picture. And so you just went away and achieved it, which is fantastic. Yep. So thanks, Mary, for sharing your insight on that. I wanted to do a quick run. We're running out of time on our show, but a quick overview, because I know you've read this book as well. But Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. Every week I like to share with you just a different book that I recommend could get you on path to finding your freedom. 3 big takeaways that I got out of this book is, number 1, learn how to make money work for you. So in Cash Flow Quadrant, the message really is stop trading your time for money and start investing your time in how to get money working, but through investment, so that you don't have to be a slave to money. The next big tip is really understanding the 4 quadrants of the cash flow quadrant and working your way through them. So most of us start as an employee. How do I move from employee to being a self-employed person? But from a self-employed person, I want to create systems, so I move up to become a business owner. And once I'm a business owner, I then step into the space of being an investor. So the 4 quadrants are E, S, B, and I. Read the book, you'll learn all about it. The 3rd biggest takeaway is, when you are a self-employed person, you are not a business owner. A business owner is essentially, and this was a big brain fry for me, because I always thought I was a business owner, but a business owner is essentially someone who owns a system that generates an income whether they're in it or not. And Robert Kiyosaki says, to be a true business owner, you need to be able to step away from your business for at least 3 months and have it still earn money. So those are my big takeaways from this book. What would you say about that book, Mary, in a sentence or 2?
That was my big revelation, was trading your time as an employee for money. That was not efficient or effective. And I agree with you there about being a business owner is, in a way, if people go into franchises, they're basically buying a job. So the real wealth is being an investor, or I call it investorpreneur in my language, And I think property is where you can be a bit of both. Treat property as a business, but also build wealth and assets along the way. So investorpreneur is what I really like.
An investorpreneur. Thank you, Mary. I love that. All right. Well, I'm going to leave everyone with our 7 weekly steps to move you closer to freedom. So if you take these 7 steps, you will get on the path to finding your own version of financial, mental, and emotional freedom. So here they are. Number 1, work out what energizes you. So in Mary's case, property investing really energized her. She was passionate about it. Step number 2 is actually practice your passion. So Mary was in the game for 30 years. Maybe you're not ready to start a business or build a system around it, but just get in the arena and do what you're passionate about, and that'll get you closer to knowing how you can turn that into an income stream. Step number 3 is, as Mary said, create that vision board. You know, that was your power tool. Is that what you called it?
Yeah, I call it my power tool, yeah.
Yeah, the impetus to get on the path to achieving greatness. Step number 4 is do your homework or research. So Mary's strategy in property is, as she said, she's never been suckered into a get rich quick scheme. She does her homework and her research on every property. But whatever path you want to take, don't be a sucker like I've been. Don't jump into the next shiny new object. Do your homework, do your research around what you want to invest in, and that will get you closer to where you go. And that might be just about doing your homework or your research around what your strengths are. What do you enjoy? Number 5 is join a network or a community. Mary, these were all very much inspired by your path, because I know you're a networking queen and you love to get out there, and that's where you'll meet potential JVs. So do that next. Number 6 is engage a coach. Now I'm going to blow smoke up my own bottom for a moment, but I think for you, when you joined the Lifestyle Business Builder and I became your coach, not because necessarily anything I did, but because you had that support network and a process to hold you accountable, that's when you went, yep, I can do that. So I would recommend, if you want to get on this path, definitely engage a coach to guide you through the process. It'll save you a lot of time and money in the long run. And number 7, which is going to be the same number 7 every single week, is take daily action. So that's it from me. I want to say thank you so much to Mary for coming and joining us. If you would love a free 30-minute session with Mary, it's a property coaching session. This is not a big upsell or anything like this. This is a genuine Mary asking you about where you're at and how you could get into the property game. Let us know why you would love that, and that will be our gift to you. So that's it from us for this week. I'll see you next week in Find Your Freedom TV. And until then, live life by design, not by default. Thanks, everyone. See you. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Bye.